Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the FrostBytez Gaming Experience, part 38 of the Pokemon Emerald walkthrough. We've actually got another long one for you. It's been a while. We've done a number of short episodes for the past couple episodes, but now we're actually in the midst of doing a relatively long episode. Reason for this being is because if I only kept it as short as it was for one of the parts, this current part would only be about 11 minutes long. I'm not really looking to make anything really less than 12-minute episodes, really. 12 minutes being the lowest that I could possibly fathom to look at. So I figured, okay, well, this one was only about 11 minutes. The next one's about 13 minutes. Let's go ahead and just have ourselves a good old 24-minute part because we haven't had a good, over 20-minute part in some time. And really because aside from like plot, there's not really a whole lot going on in these next couple parts here. Basically, we're starting off, we're going to be taking care of everything that we can do along the routes of 128 through 131. We're starting off with route number 128. We got a couple hidden items to get and a number of trainers that we need to battle. But that's really about it. Can't really do much after that because we don't have the ability to use Waterfall, and even if we did, we wouldn't go to the next city using Waterfall just yet because we got a lot of backtracking we got to do because Waterfall is the final HM that we need to get, and there's quite a bit we got to go through. Route 119, I believe, is the one that has like the 3 different waterfalls that we need to climb up. Got to go back to Meteor Falls because there's a couple waterfalls there as well that we got to take care of. And then on top of it, we got to go back to the, the Trick Master or whatever it was that he called himself, that, kidnapped underage children that really should be in jail, but instead people let him go ahead and, make all these fancy rooms that you have to use HMs to get out of. We took care of one of his, and I said we'd come back once we got the rest of the HMs in order to take care of the rest. So we will be doing that as well. And it's going to be relatively sooner than you think because I believe within... we should be taking care of all the turmoil going on in the next part. And so then I would want to say, because then we take care of the rest of the turmoil, go against the next gym leader. And then I believe the next part we do all the backtracking. Then we have, I believe, probably 2 or 3 more parts. And then we're done with the main story of the game. But that still leaves some side story stuff even before we get to the Battle Fortress and all that. So, yeah, we still got quite a ways to go. But it should be good. I don't know. We'll see how all that goes. But, again, we're currently on route number 128. Let's go ahead and get the stats out of the way for it. So, route number 128. And all these stats are going to cover all 3 versions of the game minus one particular route, but we'll get into that once we do. But if you are surfing around route number 128, you have a 60% chance for a Tentacle with a 35% chance for a Wingull and 5% chance for a Pelipper. If you are fishing, you have a 30% chance for a Tentacle with a 70% chance for a Magikarp with the Old Rod. Good Rod gives you a 60% chance for a Magikarp with a 20% chance for a Wailmer and 20% chance for a Love Disc. Super Rod gives you a 15% chance for a Corsola, 45% chance for a Wailmer, and a 40% chance for a Love Disc. Actually, a relatively different route as far as what you can get. Sure, the surfing is the same, Tentacle, Wingull, Pelipper. It's really when it comes into the fishing, especially with the Super Rod, that you actually get a wide variety of Pokemon. You get yourself a Corsola if you really want a Water Rock type. Not exactly what I'm looking for, but you might be into it. Wailmer, if you want a big beef tank of a water type, that's pretty much a good way to go, or you can go the way of the Milotic is what I got with a better move list, and I believe has a better special attack as well. Actually, it could also be because Wailmer mostly has HP, whereas Milotic has better defensive stats. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to look into that at some point. Either way, I've already got my water type, so I'm good to go. And then Love Disc, which I don't know what you're supposed to do with this Pokemon. Like, what are you going to be getting off of Love Disc? I'm not exactly sure. It doesn't evolve to anything. Its move list is absolute crap. Like, what does Love Disc bring to the table compared to other water-type Pokemon? Is it one of those, hey, we just made it for fun because it's cute and someone's going to want it on their team, but it's not supposed to be taken seriously competitively? Okay, cool. So then, what? At my point, it's like, why even make it then? I don't understand. I've never understood the point of Love Disc. Kind of like I never understood the point of a bug flying type. It's like, when are you ever going to use a bug flying type over any other flying or any other bug type out there that has, you know, a different trait or better stats or something like that? I don't know. All the flying bug type are just, they're so weak. What are you supposed to get out of them? I don't even know. So I don't know. Maybe someone can convince me that there's a good bug flying type, and don't give me this crap about like, oh well, Butterfree in Gen 1. No, you 100% don't use Butterfree outside of maybe Brock and maybe Misty in Gen 1. I'm pretty sure someone out there decided to stick with it all the way through, but I'd much rather catch me a Pidgey over going on my way to catch a Caterpie. Like, that's just, I'm sorry, but I feel like I get a better flying move set off of Pidgeot even in Gen 1 than I do off of Butterfree. Is that actually true? I mean, I know Butterfree can learn Confusion, but I don't think Butterfree can learn Psychic. That's why I go for Venonat, because Venomoth can learn Psychic. And there you go. I've already got a better bug type, a bug poison type, because I can also teach it Toxic if I so wanted to. And I don't know, like in Gen 1 move list is so bad, isn't it? Like, wow. Now that I think about it, yeah, the Gen 1 move list is actually that terrible. Unfortunate, really. I guess that's why we have Fire Red and Leaf Green. It's like, hey, here's what Gen 1 should have been with better moves to choose from. You know, that's why your Charmander can learn Metal Claw and actually stand a chance against Brock. Even though, again, it technically could, because Brock doesn't really have any rock-type moves. All he knows is, like, Tackle and Harden. No, Defense Curl, that's right. It was, like, Tackle, Defense Curl, Bide, and... God, I don't... Oh, man. Because Bide was by his Onix. What did Geodude even have? Because Geodude mostly had Tackle and Defense Curl. I don't even know what Geodude's other two moves were, and then Onix. And I don't know... Let me take a look into that, actually, because we're finishing up Route 128 here relatively soon, but I'm actually curious, in Gen 3, did Brock have any rock-type moves? Was that something that they changed? Or did they not and let him keep all those really bad normal-type moves? I don't care about anime Brock. Give me actual Brock. Okay, let me go back. Where is the other Brock? Here we are. This is the Brock I'm looking for. This is the real Brock. This is the OG Brock. Alrighty, yeah, Geodude only had Tackle and Defense Curl. And in yellow, he only had Tackle. What the hell? And then Bind. That was... Oh, Screech. Okay, so Onix had Tackle, Screech, Bide, and Bind. And same deal in yellow. Okay. But what about... Okay, so in Fire Red Leaf Green, it knows Rock Tomb. So yeah, your Charmander's in a little bit more of a bind there. See that? Bind? I can be funny at times. But yeah, that's really about it. Gen 1, oh my god, I thought Geodude only had 2 moves, but I didn't actually think that they would legit keep him on only 2 moves. Oh well, anyways, that does it for route number 128. Then we head on back to Suitopolis, where we actually see the 2 legendary Pokemon in what I can only attest to a battle of screams so loud that an earthquake happens. You didn't buy new milk. Yada! I don't want to take a trip to the store. Yada! It's only like 2 minutes to get there. Yada! I mean, they don't actually collide with one another. So it's like every time they get closer, it's like they're shouting at each other so loud that it's causing earthquakes. Now, one thing I tried to do here, because I was actually unsure of in that space, I was like, am I capable of actually going in between them? Like, excuse me, I know you two are having a bit of a marital dispute here at the moment, but I need to go to the store right now, and if you don't mind, I'm just going to squeeze on right on through here. You know, but no dice. That whole entire grid section is completely locked out because, yeah, I guess our guy doesn't want to get into the middle of a marital dispute of two legendary Pokemon. Can't say as I blame him. We saw what happened in the very first Pokemon movie. What happens when you decide to get between a marital dispute like that between Pokemon, and it is not pretty. One of the cool things that I did forget to mention, however, on Route 128, and I think it's only on route, like, within, like, the first couple routes within the area, but, because of the two legendary Pokemon going at it, and because they're very weather-based, legendary Pokemon, is that the world around is being, warped because of that. So, as you saw, every single battle that I did on route number 128, it was either raining from the get-go or there was heavy sunlight from the get-go. And it mostly just depends on what section of route 128 you were currently at for those to happen. It can be a right pain in the ass, really, especially when it's raining, because when I'm using Blaziken, I can't get anything out of that. Or it's a boon when you get the sunlight, because then Blaziken can actually do something. Feels really good. But yeah, that was like one of the really cool things about it, is because one of them is the master of water and the other one's the master of, well, ground. So I guess that means technically sunlight. It's like they're battling for control about, hey, that's, you know, this is what I'm going to make the region. The other one's like, no, I'm going to make the region more like this. And it just kind of goes back and forth like so. And also because of the fact that they're currently in that battle, except for the actual trainer battles, there's no, like, world music. It's just this particular theme that's playing right now, which I actually like it as a theme, so I don't mind that whatsoever. I kind of wish that it stuck with it even with the trainer battles. So this is originally where the part would have ended, but again, that would have been a little bit too short, in my opinion. So here we are, second half of it. This is where we're going to be taking on routes 129, 130, and 131. And you might be thinking to yourself, my God, that's a lot of routes that you're going to be covering in one section. How is it that you're able to do it within about a 13-minute part? It's easy. There are no items to get on route 129 through 131. There probably isn't any items to get from 132 to 134. I haven't even gotten that far yet. But when I found out, like, I thought that route 129 through route 131 was actually going to be a pain because, okay, yeah, it's still more water, there's still more dive places, all of that. Trainers I need to fight, items I got to get. No, it's actually none of that. There's not that many trainers to go against. There are a total of, I believe, 5 trainers on Route 129, 3 trainers in all of Route 30. There's a reason for that. We'll get into that once we get to Route 130. And then like 6 trainers in Route 131, but no items, no dive spots, nothing out of the ordinary. Which makes me think, why are these routes then? Like, if all I'm doing is going against trainers in the routes, and don't get me wrong, you know, that's the majority of what you're supposed to be doing when it comes to Pokemon anyways, but the fact of the matter is, why is there no items for me to get? I'm not complaining, I'm getting tired of having to memorize where every single hidden item is, to the point where my brain's about to snap. Again, my memory is absolute garbage here, so the fact that you're trying to cluster more hidden stuff for me to find is also a right pain in the ass. But fact of the matter remains, you know, it's what I'm supposed to do. But when a whole entire 3 routes in a row doesn't have any items to get anyways, well then what am I doing besides battling trainers? And again, I'm not exactly sure if Route 132 through Route 134 is the same or not. Part of me kind of hopes that it is, because I've already got some backtracking to get the rest of the items that I got to do anyways. Less items, the better. But, I don't know, it caught me off guard when I'm looking through, and I'm like, there's actually no items here. Now, I guess that's either they were crunched on time and had to just finish it up, and they're like, no items, just get this game done and shipped out. You know, this should have been done last week. Like, we're behind here. There's a riot going outside our offices right now. We're going to get burnt to the ground if we don't get this game out. Forget the items, just finish it, go. Which I totally get. And it kind of feels that way considering the fact that in the ORAS versions, we actually do have items to pick up all along these routes. You know, it kind of feels like, you know, when Gen 2 first came out, and it's like, oh my god, it has all this cool stuff. And again, Gen 2 is my favorite generation, but even I know the faults of it, where it's like, let's take a look at Viridian Forest. Yeah, it's gone. Like, all the trees are cut down, and it's like a little, like, it's like you're waiting in line to go on your favorite roller coaster. You know, you just follow the open area until you get to the end. That's really all there is to it. I believe Mount Moon was like, I don't know, 2 rooms, and that was it. Although, now that I think about it, I think even then, Mount Moon and Heart Gold Soul Silver, I don't think they expanded on it that much more, but it's been a while. Maybe they did. But I do remember Viridian Forest, you know, they brought it back, which is good. But yeah, you can definitely tell when sometimes they're a little crunched for time, or in some cases a little crunched on memory space. You know, it makes more sense with Generation 2. You can only have so much stuff fit into one cartridge. I'm willing more to chalk it up against we were running out of time and got a little bit lazy, so we just kind of did this above, oh yeah, we just ran out of memory space. I don't think so. I could be wrong though. You know, I didn't design any game for the original Game Boy or Game Boy Color, so I don't know. You know, I can't sit here and say, oh yeah, they totally could have. I have no idea. Maybe they couldn't have. Who knows? All I do know is Sableye's back on the team, ladies and gentlemen. He's been gone a while. But because we don't need the move Dive, there's no reason for me to bring Lombre with me. So it's like, cool, let's bring Sableye back. We haven't seen him in, what, 10 episodes by now? Like, my goodness, we've had to use Dive so much that we've been out without Sableye for a while. To the point where I think it's probably best that the next time I need to switch out for Lombre again, because we got to teach somebody Waterfall. Sorry, Lombre, you're just the best HM bitch I could look for. I think I just need to leave another Pokemon behind because we haven't seen Sableye in so long. In fact, speaking of Pokemon we haven't seen in so long, what happened to Solrock? Well, the thing is, when majority of this game is done on water in some, or at least the second half of the majority of the game is done on water, there's no reason not to use Magneton, like, whatsoever. And that to me was another, you know, small issue that I always had when it came to Generation 3, is that so much of it is done on water that it's like, yeah, your electric type's going to be going through the roof, but what about everybody else? I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, we just finished up Route 129, and I'll go through those stats for Route 129 in a second. But first off, one thing that I do want to make mention to is that we are currently on route number 130. And the deal with Route 130, you're going to kind of see me go back and forth, because at this point I'm like, okay, I remember there's some more trainers to go against, but where are they? Why is this whole entire area of Route number 130 so empty? Like, where is everything? And then I run into the next 2 trainers. Okay, why is it so empty? Route 30 has a very interesting gimmick to it. There is such a thing called Mirage Island on Route number 130. Now, kind of like with the Mirage Tower, obviously, there's times it's going to be there and times it's not going to be there. Here's the key difference, however. Mirage Tower, the way that you make it appear is by leaving the route and coming back, and boom, there it is. It's like whenever you enter it, it constantly is changing. It'll be like, okay, the first time you enter, it's here. Second time you enter, it's gone. Third time, it's here. Fourth time, it's gone. Cool. Mirage Island works completely differently. It has something to do with, it picks like a random 2 numbers every single day. Not random 2 numbers, it's picks number between 0 and like 5,000 something or other is what I read. And if the last 2 numbers picked like matches the last 2 numbers of your player's ID, I think, on that particular day, then Mirage Island is going to show itself. And if it doesn't equal up, then it doesn't show itself. That's really it. Now, it's not like you need anything from Mirage Island. All Mirage Island has is one particular kind of berry. I forgot which one it was, but I guess it's like a super rare berry. And the only thing that it really brings is the fact that then you can go against Why Not Pokemon, done in increments of 5, from 5 all the way up to 50. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, all the way up to 50, you get the whole entire point. So it's really where you go to get Why Not. Aside from that, there's really nothing else to do on Mirage Island. There's not extra trainers to fight. There's no other random items to get or hidden legendary Pokemon. I mean, I guess Why Not could be considered a legendary Pokemon if he's only able to get him in one area and you have to wait for the right day for him to appear. Now, that's something I'm not planning on doing. I'm not going to check every single day to find the one day that Mirage Island comes back and shows you guys. Well, maybe I will, but chances are it's not going to happen, so it's not... Don't anticipate an episode where I get to show you guys Mirage Island. Anyways, with that said, so first off, let's take a look here. We have route number 129, where there are some differences based on the game that you play. If you are surfing, you have a 60% chance to run into a tentacle with a 35% chance that it's a Wingull and a 4% chance that it is a Pelipper, with a 1% chance that there is a Wailord. Now the difference is that supposedly in the Ruby version, the Wailord is going to be between levels 35 and 40, whereas in the Sapphire Emerald version, it is a level 25 to level 30 instead. But the thing is, you have a 1% chance of running into a Wailord. Pretty good. The rest in the fishing, this is kind of more of the normal 30% chance for a tentacle with a 70% chance for a Magikarp with the old rod. Good rod is a 20% chance for a tentacle, 60% chance for a Magikarp, and a 20% chance for a Wailmer. And then the super rod is a 40% chance for a Sharpedo with a 60% chance for a Wailmer. Now, on route number 130, again, if the Mirage Island shows up, you can run into a Wynot. Aside from that, surfing, everything's the same except for the Wailord. Wailord apparently is only in route number 129. Route number 130, you're back to the 60% Tentacle, 35, 5 Wingull Pelipper, and fishing is exactly the same as it was on route number 129. And then looks like route 131 is exactly the same from the looks of it. I believe it is. Yes. Okay, exactly the same. So again, the biggest difference here, route number 130, if you really want a why not, well then you best go out of your way and check it every single day, because we cannot guarantee that it's going to be there or not. It's hard to say. And yeah, that's really it. That's kind of basically all that there is when it comes to this particular part. You know, not a whole lot really going on just yet. It's really the next part where things really start picking up a little bit more. We're going to be in another new town. I forgot the name of it already. It's a water world town. You know, a bunch of huts with, you know, all those like planks of wood that you walk across to get from one area to the other, where you don't feel like swimming from one part to the other. It's kind of cool. I actually like the look of the town. Seems like an interesting place to live, unless, you know, a tsunami hits or a hurricane or something like that, and then, well, your whole entire town is literally up in flames and being tossed all over the place. And yeah, it's not exactly a good sight. Maybe I don't want to live there. I really don't want to live there. Yeah, I definitely don't. But we're going to be taking care of that town. I'm not exactly sure what all there is to do in that town. We'll see once we, you know, get to that episode. And then after that, we'll be waking up the legendary Rayquaza, my boy, my favorite legendary. Let's go. And then afterwards, we'll be separating Groudon and Kyogre, which is easier done than said, really. You guys will see what I mean. Take on the gym leader, go catch the legendary Rayquaza. Not maybe catch. This is a legendary I am actually going to catch. That Master Ball is going to be good for something. I'm not even gonna be like, oh, spoiler Reno town over here. No. We are using that fucking Master Ball, and we are catching a legendary Pokemon this time. I swear we are going to. And after that, we'll go ahead and finish off Route 132 all the way through Route 134. See if there's any actual items to get, or if it's just another area of just nothing but trainer battles. And yeah, then we got to go take on the Elite Four. And then after the Elite Four, my God, the amount that we got to do is kind of crazy, because then a lot of things open up for more legendary Pokemon to, well, not catch. You know, it's not like I'm actually going to try and catch all these legendary Pokemon. It's just Rayquaza's my boy. He's the one exception. I'm definitely going to catch Rayquaza no matter what. I will catch him. I will. And then the rest, we'll just kind of fight them, showcase where they're at, all that good stuff. We're getting there. You know, Battle Frontier is just around the horizon, and all the battle tents. You know, I still got to do those too. I'm very curious to see what the battle tents are and what the Battle Frontier or Battle Fortress or whatever it is that it's called. I'm very curious to see what all it entails, because I've never done it before. And again, that's kind of why I want to do that live instead of, you know, post commentary, because I think it'll be a lot funnier not knowing what to expect. But anyways, here we are. This is Pacifidid Log. We'll see you guys in the next part. Enjoy the rest of your evenings.